This morning's business of the month, or the October business of the month, goes to TD Bank, otherwise known as Toronto Dominion Bank, located on Branner Avenue in Waynesville. They've been in that location since 2011 when they purchased Carolina First Bank. They're one of 14 Western North Carolina branches. There are about 125 people spread across those 14 branches. They have about 26,000 U.S. employees altogether. Their company mission is to be the best run, customer-focused, integrated financial institution with a unique and inclusive employee culture. Their primary clients are both personal and business depositors. They have lending products along with a variety of investment solutions. In addition to the regular banking services, they have what they call an affinity package, which helps nonprofit organizations raise funds. They teach financial education classes called WOW Zones, showing children the importance of budgeting, saving, and they also volunteer with a number of local organizations. So it's my pleasure to award Business of the Month to TD Bank.
Okay, absolutely. I'm going to keep this short and sweet, but at TD Bank, we know that the key to our success is being part of the community. That can come through in a variety of ways, helping a young couple buy their first home, helping a small business purchase a new piece of equipment, or volunteering with a local nonprofit. And the last piece is what I'm most proud of at the bank. If we volunteer 40 or more hours in one calendar year with a 501c3 organization, TD will donate $500 to that organization in our name. So I think that proves their investment in our communities, and we're just really thankful to be part of Haywood County. So thank you very much. You got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. We've got our elected officials here, and unfortunately, we have about 3 minutes for them to share their thoughts, who they are, and what's up. We hope that they'll learn something about us, and we'll learn something about them. So let's pay quick attention. And for my remedial class, we have a white card or a yellow card when there's 1 minute left, and when that's over, there's a red card. So if we can try to honor those who follow and try to keep to the time frame, that would be great. What we're going to do is we're going to hear from candidates from the U.S. House of Representatives. We have 2 running for that slot, District 11, Mark Meadows and Rick Bryson. We will now hear from Rick Bryson, and unfortunately Mark Meadows has a conflict and will not be able to attend. So if we can start with Rick, that'd be great. There you go, sir. Thanks for coming.
I am Rick Bryson. I'm running for the U.S. House of Representatives in the 11th North Carolina District, and I'm sorry I didn't wear my elevator shoes this morning, so I'm going to have to stand out in front of the elected. I am running because I got mad in 2013 when my opponent shut down the government and cost this district $23 million alone. To me, this is kind of like a farmer who thinks he sees a mouse in his barn, and he burns the barn down to get rid of the mouse. We don't need someone coming in here to represent us and do harm to our district. So, but I want to talk about what I am going to do for this district when I get to Washington. First of all, I stand foursquare for women's issues, both economic and health issues. There's no reason that a woman should make less money than I make doing the same job. Also, women's health care issues are special and important to us as a human race, and I will do everything I can to protect that. Secondly, I am very much in favor of protecting Social Security, and it's been an 80-year-old program that's helped any number of people in this district, and it continues to help us, and it continues to help me. Thirdly, if any of you are veterans, I want to give veterans a greater voice in their health care problems that they deal with in the VA itself. A lot of guys tell me that they can get really great health care in Asheville when they can get through the bureaucracy of the VA. And I plan to give them a greater voice in that program. But the final thing I want to tell you has to do with this screaming red shirt that I usually wear when I'm campaigning. I graduated from NC State in 1965 as a mechanical engineer. No way was I going to find work as a mechanical engineer in Swain County, where I grew up. So I wound up moving north. And I spent 35 years and 28 days in Cleveland, Ohio. But what I want to do for Western North Carolina is something I learned in Raleigh, and that is to bring back some form of the Research Triangle Park to Western North Carolina so that people who leave here to get educated can come back here and find very upscale work and bring their families here and have the same experience that we all had growing up here. I'm Rick Bryson. Remember me on November 8th if you want an economic miracle in the mountains. Thank you.
Next, we have candidates running for the NC House of Representatives, District 118, Michelle Presnell and Rhonda Shondavel. Michelle will come forward first. Michelle?
Thank you. I'm Michelle Presnell. I live in Burnsville. I'm a small business owner of over 30 years. I'm a gun-toting, Bible-believing, deplorable, hardworking American, just like many of you here. I'll never change my vote on House Bill 2. Our women and girls are much more important. Thank goodness most people in this mountain area know which bathroom to go to. Corporations and organizations don't typically pull out of states unless they are compelled by activists. Thank them for the Charlotte's unconstitutional ordinance that they put forth. I was able to get $12,000 for each one of my FFA chapters in my district. 3 of them went to Haywood, 1 in Madison, and 1 in Yancey. North Carolina economy continues to recover and grow faster with a stronger rate than any in our region, with over 300,000 jobs. As your state legislator for the past 4 years, I've fought federal government overreach time and again, like with EPA and Evergreen. We saved 1,000 jobs right there and got them $12 million. Between Senator Davis and myself, we worked both of us, he in the Senate and I in the House. We have strong mountain values in North Carolina. We're honest, we have integrity, we love our country and our men and women in uniform and our law enforcement. I've created jobs, not ugly flowers. Small business owner for over 30 years. I stand up for the unborn and the elderly. I continue to stand up for the Second Amendment as a lifetime member of the NRA, and I also have my concealed carry. I fight for our farmers and our families. I fight for our religious freedoms, as Mordecai said to Esther, for such a time as this. Now's the time for strength, not weakness in the legislative body. My opponent will not even attend a small committee group of over 100 in Beaver Dam community when they tried to put in the dump site. I will, I can, and I do speak up to all of the people, but mostly importantly, the strongest political people in the whole state. I'm Michelle Presnell. I ask for your vote on November the 8th. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Rhonda Shondavel. Come on up.
Good morning. As most of you know in this room, my name is Rhonda Cole Shandavel, and I'm running for the North Carolina General Assembly in House District 118. Haywood County has always been my home. It's where I was born, raised, educated, and have raised my family. And because I want what is best for my home, when this opportunity presented itself, I knew I was ready for the challenge. I can remember as a child my grandmother taking me to downtown Canton and seeing it so full of life, energy, and people. And those that didn't own or work in a small business like my mom worked in the paper mill just like my dad. I remember this as a time of prosperity. But times change, interstates are built, and traffic is directed away from our main streets. Businesses move into neighboring counties, and we become a bedroom community for them. Now, all of this is not bad, but it does force us to become adaptive. I know with great resources like the Haywood County Chamber of Commerce and with elected officials willing to serve our best interests, we can do better, and I know that we can grow. Here's my plan. It all starts with a proper education. We need a talented workforce to attract businesses. This means we must partner with our great community colleges and regional universities to make sure our best and brightest are educated right here at home. We need to work and expand internet access so that those looking to come to open their businesses in Haywood County will know that they are going to be able to be connected to the rest of the world. We need to work with our local elected officials, city and town managers, and planning boards to continue to draft plans and support our already existing local businesses. We also need to make it easier for our local businesses to get by. When the General Assembly voted to eliminate tax savings for the first $50,000 earned by our local small businesses, they hurt our economy. They hurt everyone that is a member of the Haywood County Chamber of Commerce. The General Assembly has also voted to raise taxes and fees on dozens of services performed by so many of our local businesses. This not only hurts them, but it hurts our working families that live in our county and shop at our businesses. When I'm elected, I'll push for more tax breaks for our small businesses and middle-class families, not for billion-dollar corporations. And we need to make sure that Haywood County is a place that people want to raise their family. This means we must protect our drinking waters and trout streams. We must be able to provide a world-class education. We must be able to have safe roads to drive on and clean parks to visit. We must have a health care system that works for all North Carolina families. My vision for our county is to level the playing field, where everyone that works hard and plays by the rules has the opportunity to succeed. This is something that is currently missing. Thank you for having me this morning. My name is Rhonda Cole-Shandival.
Now we'll hear from the NC House of Representatives, District 119, Mike Clampett and Joe Sam Queen. And Mike, you're up.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you. It's great to be back over in Haywood County today, and it's wonderful to hear that a business is growing, and under the North Carolina economy and the legislature that's been led, we can see that because tax rates for businesses has reduced. First, let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm Mike Clampett from Swain County, sixth-generation mountaineer. I'm retired fire service, 31 years, 28 with the city of Charlotte and 3 with other departments. With that being said, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear to get your vote. I'm not going to tell you your house burning down was the best day of your life. What I want to be is very honest and straightforward to you. I want to continue the traditions that we have been carrying in Raleigh for the past 4 years. I was down there as a sergeant at arms in 2013 and 14 and got to see firsthand the legislative groups in action, like Representative Presnell and Senator Davis. With that being said, I believe in the small business. I believe in the chamber. My stepdad had a service station when I was growing up, and I started working in it at 13. At 18, I left home and went to college. With that being said, I'm a believer in small business because the National Federation of Independent Businesses has endorsed me as a preferred candidate for the 119th House seat.
and I greatly appreciate that. Along with that being said I believe our state needs to be kept safe. We need to be kept safe because we have a large amount of borders on the north and the south and the west. With that said, the North Carolina Police Benevolent Association has endorsed me. That's the largest law enforcement group in North Carolina, and I'm appreciative to that. As Michelle Presnell mentioned earlier about the unborn and the elderly, I've been endorsed by the North Carolina Right to Life. I'm humbled by that endorsement that they feel like my mountain values, principles, and just down home growth and upbringing that I've had met with their criteria. I'm honored with that. And as far as Second Amendment, yes, Grassroots North Carolina's endorsed me with that. And all that to say is, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear to get your vote. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to bring back. Sometimes it's not doing something is the best thing. Saying no. And I have the stamina. I've had the training by being in the fire service for 31 years. And I have the personality to go after what it takes to be able to help Western North Carolina in the 119th district. With the 119th, Haywood County is unique. One of the few counties in the states that divided between the 118th and the 119th. And what we need is two legislators like Michelle Presnell and myself working together to help the Haywood Countyans and all the people of Western North Carolina. Remember, I'm Mike Clampett. I would appreciate your vote on November the 8th. Thank you and have a God bless day.
Joe Sam.
Good morning, and I appreciate the Chamber's fine breakfast and the opportunity to speak to all of you here. I am Joe Sam Queen. I know most in the room, but not all. So I will tell you I'm a sixth generation Haywood County citizen. My wife is Dr. Kate Queen, and I have two grown children, Sarah and Charlie. I'm a practicing architect and a small business owner and a United Methodist. And I represent Haywood, Jackson, and Swain County in the North Carolina General Assembly. This is a very important election for North Carolina. It's an election to renew our state's commitment to public education, to lead and not lag. Jim Davis and I met with Chancellor Belcher in the last session, and he laid out in his conference room the budget of Western North Carolina, and it had been cut 25%. The university system, the great university system of North Carolina, has been cut over $800 million. All of you know teachers in your families, in your communities, and know the stress that our public schools have been under, our Haywood County school boards have been under by budget cuts to public ed. There's a lot of ways to use figures to say what you want to say, but the per student funding, which is the baseline of what our local school districts get to provide the quality education our children need, have been cut over $600 per student across the state. We need to restore our commitment to a quality teacher in every classroom and a quality principal at every school. You've heard numbers through the campaigns about where we've ranked and where we've come from and where we've fallen to. In the principal world, we're dead last in the United States. Only Guam and Puerto Rico pay their principals less. So it is an election for change, for a redirection. An election to protect our waters and stop fracking in North Carolina before it can begin. An election to expand Medicaid to serve over 15,000 citizens in Haywood, Jackson, and Swain, and provide over 1,000 jobs tomorrow as soon as we can expand it. This is our tax dollars lost. Waste, fraud, and abuse is rampant with the policies we have in the current General Assembly. And it's past time to bring high-speed internet to everybody in North Carolina. Those are my priorities. I work for everybody, education for everybody, clean water for everybody, jobs for everybody, health care for everybody. It's not special interest, it's everybody in this state that matters. I'm Joe Sam Queen. I ask for your continued support for the House of Representatives. Thank you.
Our last group of candidates, they're running for the Haywood County Commissioners. We've got Robin Black, Steve Brown, Kevin Ensley, and Brandon Rogers. Robin Black, you're up first. I did. Oh my gosh, I skipped them way before. We're gonna let everybody talk again after we bring up the senators. Thank you, Cece. Hold on to that thought, Robin. Let's go back and let's pick up. We have candidates running for the NC State Senate District 50, and we'll go in alphabetical order. Jim Davis and Jane Hibbs. And Jim, you're up first. Sorry, sir.
Thank you much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today, and I'm grateful for what you do. My name is Jim Davis. I live in Franklin. I'm a practicing orthodontist and a small business owner, a little smaller than I used to be before I got into the political realm. I'm married for 44 years in December. I have 2 sons. They're 39 and 40, and 2 granddaughters. I come from a background of local government. I was 10 years a county commissioner in Macon County. And frankly, I think that ought to be a prerequisite for serving in the legislature or in Congress, that you serve in local government, because it's a great training ground. I've been privileged and honored to be a senator serving Haywood County and all counties west in North Carolina since January 2011. And we've done a few good things, I think, since that time. For the first time in about 20 years, North Carolina leads the region, and we have a personal income growth that's greater than the national average for the previous 10 quarters. Our unemployment rate is better than the national average. Our employment rate is better than the national average. Our mean personal income and our median personal income are all better than the national average. And I have, because of those things and the policies that we put in place in the legislature, I have the support of the North Carolina Chamber of Commerce. Those things don't come easily. We've made tough choices, and I agree that we need to invest in education. And I am privileged to, in 10 years in the county commission in Macon County and 6 years in the legislature, I have voted to increase, in spite of what you've heard, increase in real dollars and inflation-adjusted dollars in education every single budget time. But nothing is a good deal if you can't afford it. And I believe that we owe our students an education, but those students that we educate, we also owe them to not inherit a legacy of debt. And in order for our state to be fiscally responsible, we must make sure that we do not spend money that we don't have. We have unfunded liabilities that we have to deal with. Significant ones for retirees, medical, health care. We have about a $30 billion unfunded liability. It used to be 33 in January 2011, so we're making headway. Our pension system is good, and it's getting better, but we still have a lot of unfunded liabilities. So I'm very grateful that our economic health in North Carolina is recovering, and I think it has a lot to do with the policies that we've done with tax reform and regulatory reform for small business and large business as well. As Michelle said, we were able to get through the legislature, and the governor signed JMAC funding for Evergreen, which helped preserve between 1,000 and 1,200 jobs. We've also done other things for Haywood County, like the recent $100,000 grant for mechanization at Haywood Community College. So I'm honored and I'm privileged to serve in the district, and I ask for your vote in November the 8th to return me to the Senate, because we have a lot of unfinished business to take care of, and I'm up to the task and I'm willing to do it. Thank you very much. My name is Jim Davis. I appreciate your vote.
Jane Hibbs.
Good morning, folks. It's nice to be here. Thank you so much for having me. This is a 7-county district. It was great to only have to drive about 4 minutes this morning to get here. I'll be going to the far west this afternoon. My name is Jane Hips. I'm running for the North Carolina State Senate. I'm a Christian, I'm an educator, I'm a nurse practitioner, I've been a small business owner, and I'm a farmer. And all of these things have given me a wide range of experience in working for people and protecting people. I've been here since 1968. I came as the bride of Charles Hips, and I love this county. I plan to stay here for the rest of my life, except I want to go to Raleigh, that's for sure. Since while I've been here, I've been on the Haywood Advancement Foundation. I'm now the chairman of the Haywood Community College Foundation Board and enjoying that. People ask me why I'm running, and I will let you know that, but I grew up in rural Mecklenburg County. We had a coal stove for central heat. I wore feed sack dresses and pajamas until well into elementary school. And when I was about 6 years old, we converted from an outhouse to an in-house, and we were proud of that. Life was good. I had a father who worked hard. He had a steady job, and he had good health. If any of those factors had been different, my life could have been vastly changed. And my father taught me something. He called it the ladder to success. And he said, Jane, get a good education. Take care of your health. Be kind to your neighbor. And protect your land. And I did that, and it worked for me, and I shared that with my friends. But in 2010, I realized that the rungs of that ladder to success were being taken away for many of our people. And I started thinking, what in the world is happening to our state? And I thought, you know, the North Carolina General Assembly has pulled what I call the Brother Bill move. I have this brother, and he would look out the window, and he would say, Jane, there's a bird out there, and while I was looking, he was stealing my dessert. And you know, the General Assembly has done that for us. While they've got us looking out the window at what I call the G issues, guns, gays, God, gynecology, and now it's going to the bathroom, they're stealing our educational opportunities. They fail to help the people who need medical attention. They've taken away the earned income tax credit that helped the hardworking people get ahead. And they have stolen our environment when they passed the fracking bill, and they're eroding our environmental protections. I want to go back to Raleigh to rebuild and restore that ladder to success, but because I have a vision for Western North Carolina and Haywood County, that we will have world-class schools and teachers, that everyone can get quality medical care, whether they're rich or whether they're poor, that we will put back the earned income tax credit so people don't have to decide whether they're going to put food on their table or buy their medicines. And I want my great-great-great-grandchildren to understand that it's their sacred responsibility to take care of our air and land and our water. I'm Jane Hips. I ask for your vote. I want to go to Raleigh and work for every one of us. Thank you for your attention. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now we're going to move on to our county commissioners. And Robin Black, you're up first.
Sure?
Yes, ma'am. Yep, I'm sure. Cece did call me.
A little short. I hope everybody can see me. My name's Robin Black, and I am running for county commissioner. I'm a certified public accountant with a practice here in Haywood County. I have 18 years governmental accounting and audit experience. I've worked with many different agencies in different roles, and I've had a lot of experience with multi-million-dollar budgets. If we want Haywood County to get better, we need to focus on our economic growth. Everybody's been talking about it for over a year, and I want to let you know the 3 things I think that are most important. The first thing is we need to attract more business and industry. There are 3 things that industries look at when they think about relocating. And it's very simple. It's infrastructure, a trained workforce, and a quality of life. We need broadband here. I'm I'm glad that it's come up, this campaign, and I'm glad lots of people are talking about it, because that is a key issue if we want to attract business and industry here. We need to expand our water and sewer. We've got some projects going, and we have sales tax in the county, and small businesses will go where the people are. People want to live here, and a lot of people are moving into my area of Canton from Asheville because it is such a better quality of life. I gotta hurry. Tourism. Tourism's up 14%. It provided $1.2 million in occupancy taxes and $167 million to Haywood County. It generated 1,700 jobs and $6 million in taxes for this county. Leisure and hospitality is the second largest employment growth and the second largest increase in employer pay. Last year, Jackson County created over 600 jobs in guides alone. Hiking's the #1 requested thing at the visitor center. We've got the Rough Creek watershed, the Water Rock Knob. We need to expand our Mike and Back trails. Camp Hope, if you don't know it, is 1 mile from the parkway. 2 miles would be a great walking trail. There's a campground there and lots of potential investment. Recent survey of Haywood County residents, #2 issue, lack of recreation. When I was at Rendezvous giving another speech, I was nervous, went outside to one of those pamphlet brackets. I picked up maybe a dozen different pamphlets, zip lines, rafting, hiking, even arts, heart, and I brought them inside and asked everybody I was speaking to if they knew what they had in common. Nobody knew. Not a one was from Haywood County. They were all taking people that were staying here out of our county to spend their money. My name's Robin Black. I'd appreciate your support. Thank you for listening.
Steve Brown.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Steve Brown. I'm running for Haywood County Commissioner, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the Chamber of Commerce and what you all do each and every day. I've been a proud member of the Chamber of Commerce for over 40 years in the 3 or 4 businesses that I've been involved with during my life. As a small business owner, working as a former school teacher, working in the nonprofit world for the last 15 years through the Haywood County Schools Foundation and through the Hospital Foundation, and currently I serve as Executive Director of the ARC of Haywood County. Briefly about my background. Born and raised here in Haywood County, went to public schools, married the former Debbie Brown. She was a Brown and married a Brown, but we're not related. She's 8th generation here, but my children do have kind of funny, well, we won't go there. I only have 3 minutes out and I get 15 extra seconds for it. But it was raised in Haywood County, went to the schools here, graduated from high school, came back, was a school teacher, then went into the small business world. I owned a hardware store about 2 miles from right here for over 23 years. I know most everybody in Haywood County, and what a great life experience that was to be able to run a hardware store. Back to the Chamber. I told you I was a member for 40 years. Back when Blue Ridge Paper owned the what it is Evergreen now, I was president of the Chamber of Commerce, and they announced to the world they were closing their doors within 6 months. I was fortunate to have a strong chamber and strong board of directors, and we were able to go to Washington and spend 3 or 4 days there to try to stop Blue Ridge Paper from closing their doors, and we all were successful, not just us, but with a large contingent of people to be able to stop that from happening. I'm going to do a quick survey. How many people in this room want faster and cheaper internet services? If you are, raise your hand. Okay, that's what I thought. How many people in this room want more small and medium-sized businesses in Haywood County? Raise your hand. Oh, we're good. Y'all doing good. You passed the test. Number 3, how many want more new attractions and want to improve recreation in Haywood County? And I'm going to tell you 3 quick ways we're going to do that. Obviously, we've talked about high-speed broadband internet. We need it. We need competitive prices for that too. Not only do we need to help Mark Clasby through the EDC to get that here. I know he's working hard on that. But we also need to do the second thing, which is involved with the EDC, is the Chamber of Commerce. The county commissioners need to figure out a way to give more money to that gentleman sitting right there into the chamber to be able to help them go out in the community, out in the world, and advertise and bring new small and medium businesses to Haywood County. We need to make that happen. Third thing, more new attractions and new recreation in Haywood County. I believe it was about 2 years ago that the TDA, along with every city and every county commissioner in Haywood County, came together, had proclamations announcing that they wanted to add 2 cents to the TDA tax in Haywood County, which would all go to build new attractions and also would go to help with bricks and mortar for recreation. It was defeated by the legislators in Western North Carolina. They derailed the legislation. If I'm elected commissioner, I will do my best to make sure that gets reintroduced. We're able to add 2 cents to the TDA to bring money into Haywood County to do things. It doesn't cost a person in this room a cent other than they have to collect it if they own their own business. The new election is coming up on November 9th. The fourth and last thing I'm going to mention real quick is I want to talk about the proposed new development in Jonathan Creek. Great idea, great prospect. I hope it happens, but as a county commissioner, I've got to be very careful about that and make sure that we protect the environment, we protect the zoning and everything to make sure that that happens in Haywood County. I am in full support of it. On Tuesday, November 9th, when everybody in this room goes to the polls, please vote to begin with. And when you do, and you come down to that box, unfortunately, I'm the last name on the county commissioners. How that the Republicans are going first, and then it goes black and brown. So I'm the last one. So make sure you go all the way down to the end, check brown, and I appreciate it. And thank you all for what you do for the Chamber of Commerce.
Next up, we have Kevin Hensley.
Thank you, John. First thing I want to let y'all know about myself is I'm not a morning person, probably because I've never learned how to drink coffee. But my kids do, so they tell me about how great coffee is all the time. I want to thank the Chamber, I want to thank the CC for inviting us here today. I know everybody's busy and y'all want to get on with your day, and I appreciate y'all taking the interest to come out and listen to us. I live in the Iron Duff community with my wife Alice. We've been married for 37 years and God blessed us with 6 children. I have an associate degree in civil engineering. I operate a land surveying small business here in the county, and I've been in business in Haywood County for 31 years. I've served as a county commissioner for 12 years, and I'm proud of my record for the last 4 years, and I just wanted to touch on a few things. For the last we've passed 6 budgets from 2009 to 2014 that were less than the 2008 budget. Our current debt today is less than it was when I took office in 2008. Our current tax rate is the 24th lowest in the state. That means 76 counties pay a higher tax rate. Our funding for schools, we're in the top 25% in the state. We've been able to complete the sale of our hospital to Duke Life Point to deliver our health care. And one thing I'm really proud of is I was a proponent. My wife served on a Haywood Christian homeless board, and I was a proponent of faith-based programs and what it has become now the Haywood Pathway Center. And I want to thank the sheriff and our churches for partnering with the county to help give a hand up for the homeless. We've been able to mitigate some of that, and this has also helped reduce our jail recidivism rate. The sheriff has done a tremendous job. I want to congratulate him. I support our law enforcement. I think we have great police chiefs in our county and our sheriff. They all work together. It's always remarkable when I see what all that they're doing. I currently serve on the Affordable Housing Committee. We've identified our needs, and we are starting to look for solutions, and I'm really looking forward to that. I think as we work to solve the issue, we could help ease the teen homeless issue. I also want to talk about a grant we got from the Golden Leaf for a sewer line down Highway 209. We'll be working on that. That'll help us expand some businesses along 209 and exit 24. And when we do that, we want to also install conduit for high-speed internet. And we're going to try to make that a practice in the county. When we put water and sewer in, we also put in conduit for high-speed internet where it can just basically be slipped in there. Also, I want to say I support our public-private partnerships like for Haywood Pathways, Mountain Projects for Senior Services, the Chamber for our EDC services. I want to thank you for delivering our economic development services. I know Mark's doing us a great job for that. Also, in closing, I would just like for y'all to look at my whole body of work and vote for me in the November 8th election as I continue to move Haywood County in a positive direction. Thank you all, and God bless you.
And our last candidate today is Brandon Rogers. Brandon.
Save the best for last, right?